Hello, welcome to a new Niggle Picks video. My name's Nigel. Firstly, a few apologies. I'm sorry I haven't put any videos up for quite a while. It's been at least 3 months, but not been too well. I suffer from sciatica and I had a really bad bout, and then got back to work, so I haven't had an awful lot of time to do many videos. But anyway, come on, let's get on. This is the beautiful Calder Valley in West Yorkshire, my home. I've lived here all my life, and there's a spot over there on that far road on the top of the hill where I can see every roof of every house I've ever lived in. Anyway, that's about me. This is about the video. This is what I'm talking about. There's a car coming now, so I'll just pause for a second. Like I say, this is the Calder Valley. My video covers something to do with the Calder Valley, but not actually the valley itself. It's this road here. This coming from Midgley to here, which is a building here which looks just like nothing. It's just a home now. Sorry, it's just a home now. But this used to be the Mount Skip Inn. I'll put a photograph up of it as it used to be. It wasn't a remarkable place, but it was a good place to go, and also it was a very old place. Somewhere around about maybe the 15th century, 14th century, somewhere around there. Because the video this time is a video about Packhorse trails. The Packhorse trails were the highways of the time, back there in the probably pre-14th century, and they were needed because down there in the valley it was boggy. They didn't go down into the valley, so all the places that are down in the valley, the habitable places or the habitated places, I hope that's the word, habitated, didn't exist back then. So you've got to imagine this with none of the buildings on there. The one over there that you can see in the distance, don't know whether you can see the two church towers, is Heptonstall. That's up on the top. That is an ancient town, village, and was one of the centres of trade in the area. So down here, like I say, everything was boggy, and as we know from 2012 and 2015, liable to flooding. So all commerce between towns like Halifax, Burnley, Rochdale, Keighley were done on what were called Packhorse routes. Now the Packhorse route went, sorry if I'm going backwards and forwards with the camera, I'm thinking on my feet. The Packhorse route was just literally a cobbled lane, just wide enough usually for one man who was either called the drover or the jagger. Sorry about this. Yeah, one man who was the drover or the jagger, possibly sometimes two, and his horses, you know, ponies, which would carry all the goods. I'll put a picture up of what that looked like. I have one somewhere. And yeah, like I say, this roundabout, they probably started around about the 12th century. I may be wrong, but quite a bit of what I'm doing here is speculation, because I've got some of the route. I'm doing from Midgley, as I say, further on the road there, or the Packhorse trail there, and I'm going to Heptonstall, which, like I said, was on the hill above Hebden Bridge. Even Hebden Bridge, the tourist town as is now, and all its mills in the past, all that existed down there was one mill, which was the manorial corn mill, and one, well, at the time it wasn't actually a pub or an inn, it was a farm called King's Farm, but I'll show you that when we get down to there. Anyway, we'll get on with the video. Right here we're looking back up Wadsworth Lane. At this point it changes to Birchcliff Road. To the left is Sandygate, also possibly another part of a Packhorse trail, once again maybe going over towards Keighley, but we'll possibly investigate that at some other point. But at this point, where Sandygate and Marlborough Road cross, where was Wadsworth Lane stroke Birchcliff Road, there's a little lane just by the post box there, and if we go down here it takes us to a place called Stony Lane or Bankside. Now this runs down the back of Cliff Street. As you can tell, with a name like Cliff Street, it's quite a steep little street. I'm already feeling my calf muscles and my thigh muscles hurting from this. I haven't done much of a walk for a while. And if we go down here, as you can see, it changes to old sets, not cobbles, sets. And that is the continuance of the Packhorse Trail. This runs straight down into the middle of Hebden Bridge and on towards the Packhorse Bridge, or the bridge that Hebden Bridge is known, its name comes from. The name actually derives from the words Hepton Brigger, Heptonbrigge. Now that actually means the bridge to Heptonstall, because that's all it literally was. It was a bridge to Heptonstall. There was no town there, no village, nothing. A little bit later than the wooden bridge, which we're going to investigate the spot of, there would be a mill and, like I say, King's Farm, which later became the White Lion. But yeah, I'm not going to go too far down here, just give you an idea of what it's like. Like I say, suffer from sciatica. I don't really want to be coming back up this too far. It's very steep. I used to kind of play in this area as a kid because I had relatives that lived on Cliff Street at the bottom end. But there you can get a good idea of what it was like. Oops, sorry. I don't think I'll ever get the gimbal gear together properly. So it runs off down there. Subbing School is to the left at the bottom, and to the right used to be the local church. For the life of me, I cannot remember the name of it at the moment. Oh, hello. But yeah, that's Bankside or Stony Lane, which was the Packhorse route. So to recap, this is where we started here at Midgley. We've gone along Heights Road, which is along here, to here where Mount Skipping was, down Wadsworth Lanes, past Dodney's here, and towards the centre of Hebden Bridge. So everything else is going to be from around this kind of area, so we'll zoom in. This is Bankside, where we were stood at the top of, just there. We've now driven around this road down here, parked up further down, and we're now at the bottom end of Bankside. Here we are at the bottom of Stony Lane, Bankside. Looking back up again, and here, on this side of the path, trail, would have been St John's, which was a church. Part of it was used to build these apartments, etc. It wasn't the parish church of Hebden Bridge. It's not really had a parish church. The parish church was St James's at Mytham, which is about a mile on from Hebden Bridge, and also at one time the Church of St Thomas the Apostle at Heptonstall. Anyway, onwards. These steps here are a later addition presume to make this bottom part a bit shallower for people using it as a footpath. Came down here. And then across here somewhere. And now this is more speculation, but all this would have been before, obviously, this road, Birchcliff Road, and probably before Keighley Road was as it is now. So it probably came somewhere down here because it headed headed over there in that direction to the old wood bridge, the old wooden Packhorse bridge. This also was a road, but this is a later road, probably 1700s. This went up onto Birchcliff, then dropped again down onto Commercial Street in Hebden. But yeah, so this building here, see the roof of? Sorry, my work of it is the White Lion. Yeah, this is the White Lion. It was back in the days of the Packhorse trails. It wasn't a public house or an inn. It was called King's Farm. It was one of the earliest buildings in Hebden Bridge, one of the two first buildings in Hebden Bridge. The other one being Bridge Mill. We're going to go and have a look at the back of Bridge Mill and the White Lion. See what we can see down there. Bit of a busy day today. Wondering whether I should have picked Sunday. There's in the square, St George's Square, there are a lot of scooters. Quite often meet up on a Sunday, but we're going in here. This in front of us is Bridge Mill, or part of Bridge Mill. And to our right now is White Lion and the White Lion car park. Go through here. In here is where, I'm pretty sure, the wooden bridge was when that building was being put up back in, I think it was 2016. The footings which were put in at the bottom, there were some wooden piles found. As can be seen by these pictures I took at the time, these posts that were found when the foundations were dug for the Archimedes screw and its housing, I think these may have been part of the original wooden Hebden Bridge. Yes, it was known it was upstream, so it's a pretty good place to have had it. But anyway, maybe it was just part of the Bridge Mill weir. Who knows? Now it's known that the wooden Packhorse Bridge was upstream from the stone one, which is down that way. So I'm pretty sure, I'll try and put some of the photos of the wooden piles that were found. Somewhere here is where the bridge went across to the opposite bank, which was of course lower than it is now, a lot lower than it is, and then it made a left. Don't know whether it was a tight left or it was at a bit of an angle, because it had to get to the buttress, which is kind of behind and over to the left. This is the road that went up to, Packhorse Trail that went up to Heptonstall. I'm now on the opposite side of the river. You can see the housing for the Archimedes screw. Sorry, I didn't tell you about that, yeah. That provides power for Bridge Mill, which has Innovation Cafe and Innovation Shop inside it. But yeah, so over there in that kind of area was where the piles were found, the wooden piles. So it probably came across here, did the bridge, this direction to just about where I am at the moment. And if we turn this way, it then came across along here. It came across here, this direction, I think. It possibly could have been at the riverbank, but I doubt it very much. Came up this way. Please do remember though, there were none of these buildings here, literally none of these buildings. This was just open land. Hard to imagine, I know, but yeah. Came around this direction, somewhere under this building to the left, which is the, it was originally the council offices, but they now call it Hebden Bridge Town Hall. Came along here, up this way. And then up this direction. This is the buttress, the next part of the trail. Well worn sets on here. Came up this direction, and this eventually leads up to Heptonstall. As you can see, it's rather steep. I won't be doing the whole walk up here. It's about as far as I'm going, but you can tell it gets narrower further up. I'm going to go to the top, drive up to the top, and then show you what it's like up there. I've just gone back a little bit. As you can see in front of us in the distance, there is Bridge Mill, where the old bridge is just behind. Now, after that was disused, the route would have come along this route you can see here in front of me, and then it would have taken a right up over this bridge, which is the bridge which Hebden Bridge is actually famous for and known as the old Packhorse route. And as you can see when I get over here, it joins straight up with the bottom of the buttress in front of us. Sorry if it's difficult to see because of the sun. It's rather nice today. There you go, straight in front of us. Yeah, so this bridge is circa 1510, a little later than the wooden bridge which I described, and just like the old wooden bridge, it went on up to Heptonstall via the buttress. See you at the top of there. Well, here we are. I've cheated and come to the top of the buttress. I'm an old man now, nearly 60, so I don't think I could do the buttress anymore. It is rather steep and rather long. But anyway, here we are at the top. As you can see, it's narrowed quite a bit by now, and it is really, really steep. There's quite a few people just passed, some tourists saying they couldn't believe how steep it was. And just here, I think this bit is a modern, slightly modern narrowing, because as you can see there is a house to the right. Oh yes, I forgot to show you, just here, just further down, also to the right, there is a graveyard. Which has a beautiful view of Hebden Bridge. That is Frying Pan Alley. Highfield Crescent, its proper name, but everybody locally calls it Frying Pan Alley. You can probably see why, because of the shape of it. Up there to the top is Old Town and Chisley. Patrikios is over to the left. Hebden Bridge itself, the centre is to the right. The hill we came down, I don't know whether we can see it. Stony Royd. You can nearly see it. It's just over behind those trees there. So we came down there into the centre of the town, along over either of the two bridges, one non-existent, one still there. Up here, or rather we cheated, I cheated, and here we come now to the top. When we get to the top, there's a little bit of speculation on my part. Now, don't know whether you can see, and this is technically where the buttress of now stops, but if you look straight across the road from the top, there's an opening, and if you look at the right, to the right of the opening, that opening looks as if it was wider, and I'm speculating that the route of the buttress carried on up to Heptonstall through that way. Right, if we take a look at this map, revised 1919, published 1921, courtesy of National Library of Scotland, we can see here the buttress running up through here. That's where the burial ground was, that's where the church chapel used to be. And if we look here where the gateway, I spotted the opening was, it's slightly different. Is the do a little bit of a closer look. You can see there's a bit of a step where the gateway was, and then after the step there is a wall marked, which is in perfect alignment with the buttress. This is the speculation I have, that it possibly came up here and then met Heptonstall Road, which this part is the current part, and here. And it looks like it could have gone up through into Heptonstall further on up here. There's Heptonstall. Now here, if you look, you can see there are many lanes, etc. marked, all of which could be part of Packhorse routes. This one here, which runs through to a place called Lily Hall there, was said to be a coffin way, which they would take bodies of dead people from Hebden Bridge, because they didn't have a church at the time, up to the main church at Heptonstall. And that runs through here and up there, and on into the village, Heptonstall, which once again joins this Packhorse route just there. Anyway, that's the speculation. Don't know whether it's true. We can see where we were. That's the current old bridge, the buttress, and yeah, it doesn't take too much imagination to see that that could possibly be the old line of the missing part of the buttress. Many thanks for watching this shorter video. I mean, my back's only just managed to get me through this one, even with the cheating. But yeah, this has been the Halifax to Heptonstall Packhorse Trail, but just the Midgley to Nearly Heptonstall part of it. Quite a bit of speculation, but I think you'll agree, or most of you will agree, that maybe could be right. Anyway, many thanks for watching, and please click the thumbs up if you like it, and please subscribe to my channel. That would be a brilliant help to me. Many thanks. See you on the next, hopefully not too far away, video. This has been Nigglepix.